All right, with all of those details out of the way, let's dig in. Now, before we start, I do want to remind you that today I'm going to show you only a small portion of the complete study that's available on the Haas Avocado Board website. And I do encourage you to visit the site and download the complete study because it is loaded with useful information. And along the way, I think you'll find that there are several surprising facts. Now, another note before we begin is this study is centered around the retail sales of avocados. So no food service data or information is included here. All right, another thing before we begin, let's take an overview of what we found out. So I want to share three key points, three key opportunities with you. First, while bulk avocados make up the majority of purchases, in fact, almost 3/4 of all avocado purchases are in bulk avocados, it is bagged avocados that are growing the fastest from 2016 to 2019. So where's all this growth of bagged avocados coming from? Well, the answer is here. It's on point 2. A good portion of growth is coming from a group of households that now purchase both bulk and bagged avocados. And for the purpose of this study, we are calling these households both households. Most importantly, both households are clearly and actively engaged in the avocado category. And the third point, make sure you promote a mix of both bagged and bulk avocados. If you recall from the last webinar, if you were there with us, and that was called the Haas Avocado Shopper You Must Have to Grow Sales, it showed the importance of the avocado super shopper. Well, today we'll again dig into a little bit of how important that super shopper is to the entire category. So I've given you a quick overview of some of the key findings. I do want to give you a few more details about how this study comes together. We use data from IRI and Nielsen, which are both data providers, and they have a joint venture. They have thousands of households around the country that are demographically balanced to the US population. And these households, they go to the store, they regular stores, they shop, they take their purchases home. And when they get them home, they scan them with a little gun. And then they send that information back to IRI and Nielsen, where those numbers are tabulated and put together. And then it's sent to us at Fusion and the Haas Avocado Board, so we can build out studies such as the one I'm sharing with you today. And some quick definitions before we go into the heart of the study. Bulked exclusive households only bought bulk avocados. They never bought a bag during the course of the study. Bagged exclusive households only bought bagged avocados, never any bulk during the course of the study. And both households, as the name implies, bought both bagged and bulk avocados. Now, a quick note, all the numbers in the report are rounded, and I will round them a little bit more during this presentation to save time and to simplify the information. And as this study covers a period of 2016 to 2019, you may say, well, what happened to 2020? Well, as we all know, 2020 was unique in that there was a pandemic going on. And so shopping and purchasing habits changed during that year. And we excluded that so we could see a more realistic trend. Also throughout the presentation today, I may shorten the name of the Haas Avocado Board to HAB, H-A-B, Haas Avocado Board. All right, let's dig in to find out about these households we're talking about. Here is what you probably already know. Bulk represents about 3/4 of the total volume sold at retail, but bagged avocados are growing at a significantly faster rate. In fact, 3 times the rate of bulk avocados. And all you really need to know about this next slide is that bag exclusive households bought about $116 million worth of avocados. Bulk exclusive households purchased over $800 million in avocados. And those households that bought both households, spent $912 million, or about 50% of the total category sales at retail. Wow. That's an important category, right? The both shopper. Now let's move to the next slide and see how both shoppers purchased. As you see here, this group of both households purchased both bag and bulk, and they're split approximately 60% bulk avocados and about 40% bagged avocados. Now, the key takeaway from this slide, and there is a lot of writing here, I know, and so if you're seeing a recording of this later on, you can stop and actually study this slide a little bit more. But the key takeaway is that both households represent about 32% of all avocado purchasing households, and they make nearly 50% of all avocado purchases. 32% of the households buying 50% of the avocados. Clearly, this group is engaged in the category, and certainly it's important that they be able to find a good mix of bagged and bulk avocados in their local stores. And look at the change here. The number of both households is increasing. From 2016 to 2019, the both segment of households grew by over 23%. That means more bagged avocados are being added to the retail grocery basket. Wow, that's fantastic. So let's see how the purchasing habits have shifted over the years. This slide breaks out avocado purchasing households into bulk only, bag only, and both. And the dark green section you see there, well, that represents both. And look how that segment has increased from 26% in 2016 to 32% of all households in 2019. This shows that a great percentage of households are moving into the both segment. Wow, that is good news for us. Let's now take a look on the next slide, and it will go even a little deeper than this. Both households purchases have increased 34% since 2016. That's right, they've increased 34%. Bag exclusive household purchases, they've increased 22%. Bulk exclusive have declined slightly, but don't be alarmed because this perceived decrease, I believe, is just a fact that more households have become both households. So more of the bulk only households have perhaps moved in to become both households. So that is good news. Now, earlier, I mentioned that there were some surprising facts in the study, and I'm going to share a couple of them with you now. And there are more when you download the actual study. Both households make more trips to the grocery store. That's right. They are actually purchasing avocados over 10 times a year on average, while bulk only shoppers, purchase them about 7 times a year, and bagged only shoppers purchase them less than 3 times a year. So both households are engaged and simply love their avocados. Look at that. That difference is pretty amazing, right? They are visiting the store more, and when they go to the store, they're purchasing avocados. But there's more. Both households spend more on avocados than either bulk exclusive or bag exclusive households. At over $36 a year in purchases, both households spend almost $21 more a year than bagged exclusive households and about $19 more per year than bulk exclusive households. So they spend more on their purchases and they purchase them more often. Wow, that's terrific. So for those of you now that attended the prior webinar, you may recall we talked about the importance of the avocado super shopper. Let's take a look at the impact of the super shoppers on the both segment. Now, for those of you that didn't attend, I'll give you a little bit of information here to help you. And again, I encourage you to go on to the HAB website or go to their YouTube channel and download that prior webinar. I think you'll find it really interesting. But this slide basically is simply a reminder of the purchasing power of the super and heavy avocado purchasing households. The light shoppers, as you see, purchase less than $5 a year. The medium shoppers purchase up to about $11 a year. The heavy shoppers purchase up to almost $26 a year. And at $26 a year is where the super shopper just begins, because that's the minimum they can purchase to be a super shopper. And their numbers go up from there dramatically. So now let's look at their impact. This is almost a pathway. Look here at the light shopper. Only 1% of them are both shoppers. When they get to be a medium, 23% of them become both shoppers in these households. Finally, 41%. And when you become a super shopper, 55% are both shoppers. So super shoppers are more likely to be both shoppers. In fact, 55%, over half of them. So that is terrific news. Again, the super shopper is where it's at. And with each passing year, the both segment of super avocado households are growing. That's right. In fact, from 2016 to 19, the both segment has increased by 7 percentage points, from 48% in 2016 to over 55%, as we just pointed out, in 2019. All right, next we're going to look at the influence of Hispanic households and see their purchasing habits. Well, as you see here, Hispanic and non-Hispanic households have very similar purchasing patterns when it comes to buying bagged or bulk avocados. There is a few points difference here, but the overall range is pretty close, right? So it's very, very similar. And in both Hispanic and non-Hispanic households, bagged avocados grew at a faster rate than bulk avocados. You can see here on the left side of the screen is the rate of Hispanics households purchasing both bulk and bagged avocados. And in non-Hispanic on the right, you can see that growth of bagged avocados is even a little bit greater. But let's dig in even a little bit deeper and see some details here. Among Hispanic and non-Hispanic households, the both shopper is growing. Now, I just want to point out to you here, Hispanic, non-Hispanic, Hispanic, non-Hispanic, and you can see these are the years across the bottom. And look at how these are very similar, how they are growing. They're growing. The green is growing. More Hispanic and non-Hispanic households are becoming, let me go back to that, are becoming both households. So this is excellent news that over half of the non-Hispanic households and close to half of the Hispanic households are buying both. But now we're even going to dig in a little deeper. From 2016 to 19, the number of Hispanic avocado purchases increased nearly 19%, resulting in an additional $60 million in incremental sales. That's right here. And of that $60 million, both shoppers represented the vast majority of those incremental purchases. In fact, 76% contributed, both Hispanic households contributed 76% of the total increase, or over $45 million. And here on the left, you can see how that breaks out of both households with bulk and bagged avocados. So again, bagged avocados are growing at a faster rate, and more households in Hispanic and non-Hispanic are becoming both households. And here you can see how important both is to the incremental sales. So on the next slide now, let's see the number of households and how they grew. The number of households grew. Here we go. The number of households in the category grew in the Hispanic group by 1,100,000. And of those, 1 million of those households were both households. Again, about 400,000 were bagged exclusive households, and the amount of bulk actually declined a little bit. But again, we think that they're moving right up here to becoming both. In the total non-Hispanic, we had about 900,000 new avocado purchasing households join us from 2016 to 19. And of those, 308 million were both households. Now, how is that? We have 900,000 here, but 3.8 million here. Well, it's because, again, some of these bulk households and bagged households became both households. And that's what we want, right? Because they buy more, they buy them more often, and they're just a great group to have on our side. So let's review very briefly. Bulk avocados are an essential part of the avocado category, but it is important to recognize our value, and especially our future value, of bagged avocados. And a group of shoppers that purchase both bulk and bagged avocados, both households we call them, is becoming increasingly important, really increasingly important. And finally, it's important that we attract these high-value shoppers because they purchase more often and they buy them more regularly. So we want to make sure that they can find them when they want them. So make sure that your stores have a good mix of both bagged and bulk avocados. And finally, I think it's important, again, that you download the actual study so that you can read the detail. I think I went over about 20 slides with you, but there's about 70 slides. So the vast majority of the study is still to be uncovered by you. And I would love for you to go to the Hass Avocado Board website and download this study called Better Together, Bagged and Bulk Avocado Shopper Trends. And while you're there, there is so much more. There are so many studies, so much information. There's nutritional information. There's retail information and studies. There is regular information that's updated every month, data about how sales are in all the markets and the regions. So there's a lot to be had there, and it's free. It's free. Just go on, sign up with your email, and you'll have access. In fact, let's listen to this video that's going to tell you a little more about the Hass Avocado Board website. And as soon as it's over, I'll be right back with a live Q&A to answer all of your questions. So enter your questions now if you haven't done so already. Talk to you soon.
The Hass Avocado Board, or HAB, is the only independent avocado organization, and our goal is to equip the entire industry for success. HAB collects, aggregates, and distributes important industry information via its website, hassavocadoboard.com. HAB is here to support you as a member of the avocado industry, and that means providing tools and resources at no cost to you or any other industry stakeholder. After just a few clicks to register, you'll be able to view timely industry updates and have access to tools that will help you make decisions about your avocado business. Take a look at some of the benefits you'll receive when you sign up today. HAB provides the industry's only source of consolidated data and tools. Each is designed to make stakeholders like you more knowledgeable. Tools and resources include important volume data and projections by country of origin, as well as category data from IRI. We offer research and insights that allow you to discover retail landscape, shopper purchase behavior, trends, and performance drivers. You can access regional composite reports to explore quarterly retail volume, dollar trends, average selling prices, and more for 8 regions across the United States. Our global trade data explores top-line volume trends by quarter and annual breakdowns between producer and exporter countries. And country profiles and market reviews provide a look at the Hass avocado in countries across the globe. In addition, the Avocado Quality Manual is a guide to best practices for each step of the supply chain, and it's available as a free download in English or Spanish. All of this and more is available simply by registering on HassAvocadoBoard.com, and it just takes a few clicks. While you're there, be sure to check the box to receive our Hass Insights monthly e-newsletter, to receive category sales and insights and the latest study and marketing updates directly to your inbox. Now that you know what HAB can offer, visit HassAvocadoBoard.com and register today.